we are, we are alive. The reason I'm laughing is because we haven't figured this thing out yet. That's why I'm laughing. I'm Al. This is Carmen. This is Better for Today. I'm still looking to see.
But we're live on Facebook.
Okay.
And look frozen.
You are frozen. All right. We're still ironing some things out here, peoples. Bear with us. There it goes. That went away. Thank you. All right. Let me see here.
There it goes. That went away. Thank you.
There we go. All right. I think we are good. We've switched from one setting to another. Anybody who's been following us, well, let's start from shouting people out. Today is Barbara's birthday.
Oh, my cousin Barbara's
So we want to say happy birthday to Barbara. Happy birthday to
Dallas.
Let me check this here because there's probably more people. Let's see. Oh, I'll pull that up. Friends, events. There we go. I ain't say nothing about no daggone birthdays. It's just as events. Anyway, happy birthday to Bobby. Happy birthday to Dallas.
And everybody else.
See, no one else has come in the room yet, which is cool. But anyway, we've been dealing with the mind. The mind. The three components of the mind: the conscious, the conscious, the unconscious, the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious. If you've been tracking us, prayerfully you have. I hope you remember to bring your pen and a piece of paper, and because a lot of this stuff they don't teach. You got to literally do your own research to find this stuff, and it's truly instrumental when it comes to relationships. A lot of us don't even understand that we're carrying this stuff around with us. What's going on, Sean? We're carrying this stuff around with us, and we're getting into relationships. You need something?
Yeah.
And they don't work out the way we want them to. Why is the bottom of my glass is shiny? I'm fogging up.
Because you're hot.
It's hot over here, Combs. It's real hot over here.
It's the lights.
I mean,
we need a dimmer on these.
It is really hot over here. And we don't understand how these components that we have deep down inside of us are like contributing factors to our relationship. So what we've been over so far, we've been over the conscious, unconscious, conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. The unconscious is where the data is stored. Subconscious is the retriever, and the conscious is where it takes place. That's where it goes down. We got so much stuff in our unconscious that needs to be cleaned out. And it's not all bad. Me and my wife had a discussion today in regards to, is there such a thing as good trauma?
Right. We were trying to decipher that.
Right. And we discovered that the word itself negates good. It's trauma. You know, we looked it up in Hebrew, we looked it up in Greek. I think Hebrew was to wound.
Right.
And Greek was to pierce.
I think.
Greek was to pierce. So the word itself implicates harm. Something has wrongfully happened. Today, hold on, what did we do last week? What did we talk about last week?
A bunch of stuff. You talked about the subconscious.
which is what we're talking about today.
I know. Where's your notes, Mr. Man?
I have them in here, but I ain't pulled them up yet. I'm not prepared today because we jetted down here at 10 minutes to 8. We should have been down here, but it's all good.
Oh, I got a headache.
It's all good. What's up, Yvette? For some reason, I can't see who's tuning in.
I can't see. How did you see that? I can see
It was in my
anybody.
notifications. I can't see who's tuning in. I'm gonna share this to to the Better for Today page. It says switch. Let's see what happens there. All right, sharing it to Better for Today. Yeah, I can tell. No, I don't want to leave the page.
Oh, it does say Yvette Colbert. Hey.
Oh, she pulled up there.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't want to come out of there. Oh, leave. I don't know what I did. It says switch. All right. Let's see what happens there.
You need to turn your volume.
I shouldn't have been there.
Okay.
All right. Okay. As you can see, it looks like we don't have a clue to what we're doing. So anyway, today is triggers. Today is, I think my title was how to identify your triggers. And here's my phone. We'll be better prepared next week. Trust me on that. Y'all be patient. Trust me, this is going to be an excellent show. It's just live.
It's just live, right?
It's just live. What up, live? It's just live. Let me.
Hey, Nidra.
What's up, Nidra?
I can't see a thing.
It says how to identify your triggers and what to do with that information.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so my simulation of a trigger is a regular gun. It's just a trigger. If that gun is laying on the table, that trigger doesn't do anything until it's pulled.
Right.
Something has to pull. What up, Si? Something has to pull the trigger in order for it to become a part of one of the components of the mind.
Okay.
9 times out of 10, that trigger is pulled between the subconscious and the unconscious. Because when it comes to the conscious, it's already a behavior associated with that thing. And so the behavior is now a reaction from something that happened in the past. A lot of us don't even know that. A lot of things that we do is because of what's happened in our past.
Yeah.
And so I had a good analogy today of, I meant to write it down and I didn't, of, God, if I can remember this. I can't remember it. It was such a good analogy. Go ahead.
I can attribute triggers, being transparent, tones, smells. That if I hear something, it'll take me back to an incident, trauma,
right?
Yeah, that may have occurred.
What up, Pop? So the 4 things, I'm looking at my fingers trying to find them. The 4 things that I wish I could write this down, real talk. The 4 things that we learn in counseling is identification, education, application, manifestation. All right. We're in the identifying, educating phase right here. You know, we're figuring stuff out. Why is this like that? Why is this like this? There's a few books that I keep telling people to read. I don't know if I have them here. Let's see if I have them here. They should be in here.
You said application?
Identification.
Oh, identification. Okay, wait. I get mine.
I don't know why I don't see them here. Identification, education,
Education.
application.
If I can spell
It's okay.
you said,
It really is.
you said application.
Identification,
Uh
education,
huh.
application, and manifestation. I don't know where my books went. I had them all in here at one time.
I thought you had them on a tablet.
Nah, they were in here. Where I could
Oh,
pop them on the
okay.
screen. Yeah, those are the 4 mantras you need to always operate in order to uncover some of the things that could potentially be wrong with you. A lot of us don't think nothing's wrong with us. You bugging. Something wrong with you. And when I say something wrong with you, don't take it in a negative way. Just understand that you bring baggage to anything you encounter.
Right.
Any person. That's another, I think that's what a noun is. A person, place, a thing.
Right.
Those things play a key role in our triggers.
Mm-hmm.
Because this person over here can say one thing and trigger you. That person over there can say the same thing and it won't trigger you. It won't trigger you. So
right. So it's based on relationship? Is it based off of
person, place, and thing?
Okay, yeah.
How you view that. It's all in your perception.
That gauge system.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's all based on how you view people, places, and things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Once again, these are we're dealing with the conscious, subconscious, and unconscious. A lot of us don't even know how we operate. I wish I could pull my books up, but I can't. There's a book that's titled "It Didn't Start With You."
Right.
It talks about how trauma is passed down through your bloodline. Right. It's a deep, deep book. Hey, Mima. Another book is "The Body Keeps Score." Right. It's like, say for instance, you're in a relationship and something bad happens in your relationship, and you go and tell everybody the bad part of the relationship, and so they dislike this person, and you reconcile with the person, and you never go back and tell the people, hey, everything is good. They just see you with the person again. But their disposition towards that person never changes because you've never told them that you guys have reconciled.
Correct.
It's the same thing with your body. It's the same thing with your body and your mind. You don't never go back and tell, hey, everything's good. I mean, just the other day, you and I were talking, and I don't know what happened. I probably did something. More than likely I did. You know what I'm saying? And you said to me, I need to be told.
Yes.
It's that simple. Yeah. But how do you go back and tell your body or your mind everything's okay? You just do. You just do. So we identified. Well, let's look it up on the internet. The definition of a trigger, if I can find it.
How inherited family trauma shapes who we are. And
it didn't start with you.
Right. And how to end the cycle by Mark. Yeah, I'm gonna have my glasses next time. Bye.
You can turn that around into the screen.
No, I'm writing it in here.
Yeah. Turn that around into the screen. Yeah, I can see I'm new to this. Trigger. All right. So Webster's defines trigger a small device that releases a spring or catch or sets off a mechanism, especially in order to fire a gun. That line right there is good. It sets off a mechanism.
Right.
And then the other one says cause to happen or exist. You gotta identify your triggers. You gotta be able to identify your triggers. But first of all, you gotta understand, how can I say this?
When you say identify your triggers, meaning recognize what
sets you off.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
So the number one thing, if you're not doing this, none of this matters, is journal. If you're not journaling, none of this matters.
Right.
None of this matters because there's everybody that you deal with. No, let me change that. Everything outside of you has a record about you, but you.
Mm.
The doctor has a record about you. Police department, if you've ever been locked up, has a record. Your car has a record of the amount of times it's been to the shop,
Right.
oil change. But we don't think it's important for us to journal about ourselves, not realizing the journal, hey, Miss Deidre, the journal is concrete evidence of what happened. Now, you got to be honest with your journal.
You got to be honest with yourself.
That comes along the way because we got this, you know, for those that don't know, there's another podcast that we kind of in the background direct on Sundays called Sunday Night Vibes. Hey, what's up, Kev? Sunday Night Vibes, right? And last week we had a segment about young men who've been incarcerated for a long period of time, who re-enters back in society. And this young man came on and spoke about reputation. He said, reputation is something that you have to maintain.
Mm.
Authenticity is something you don't. You are who you are.
You are who you are. Yeah.
But when you're putting up this facade, trying to impress people, it's going to cost you something.
Oh, definitely, it's going to cost you a lot.
And you gotta really do a lot to maintain that image.
Yeah, you got to remember who you were with this person.
And a lot of it includes lying.
A whole lot of it.
Yeah, a lot of it includes
lying. And if
lying.
you don't think it's lying, you lying to yourself now.
So it's imperative that first of all you learn what honesty is. People say, I hear people say, "Oh, it's three truths. It's your truth, my truth, and the truth." Don't fool yourself, son.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. It ain't no three truths. It's the truth. Period.
Yeah. And
when you can get yourself to a place that your truth doesn't have to be vocal, that's authenticity. Yeah. I know who I am.
Yeah.
It's not important for me to prove it every time. You know, some people, you know, we getting off subject, which happens a lot. Some people, it's important that people know they're important. Why is it so important that somebody knows that I'm smart? Why is it so important that somebody knows that I'm even in the room? Because authenticity announces you when you walk in that room. Yeah. When you walk in that room, it's like a wind comes in if you're authentic. You know what I'm saying? But some people, we're not going to get into that.
The other book was The Body Keeps Score, right? The
Body Keeps Score. I had these books. What's up, Bishop? Look at that. Stranger. Yeah, the Body Keeps Score. Mm-hmm. Like I said before, it's like a relationship. Do I need to explain it again? No, good. All right. So triggers. Triggers. We're talking about triggers today. A trigger is something that sets off a mechanism. Right. Understand that if a gun is laying on the table, the trigger is ineffective until you decide to pick it up, and pull it. Yeah. Right. So who's pulling your trigger? Are you pulling your own trigger? Why did you allow somebody to pick you up and pull your trigger?
I used to say, don't allow, you have to be in control of your thermostat.
That's a good one.
I have to be in control of my atmosphere. I can't allow other people to turn my dial.
So I got a lot of notes.
As usual.
And once again, we shot down here at 10 minutes to 8. So I don't know where they at.
You had a lot of notes.
That ain't it.
Oh, Lord.
It might be on my phone, Con. Let's look at the downloads. It's not in downloads. Let me look at my phone. My place of reference is Psychology Today and Science Weekly. Those are the two of the places I stay in. Any information that I share, the article will be out of either one of those websites. I sent my wife these articles.
Oh Lord, really?
I did. You know,
In an
for
email?
you.
Email or text?
I sent them to you in an email. Here they go.
Oh, good.
Okay, this one is how to stop our triggers from affecting our relationships. This one is 5 steps for managing your triggers.
Let me see if I can.
Let me see what I got to. I like this one. 3 steps to identify what triggers you. Let's pull that one up.
Let's just have that. Okay.
Once again, this is Psychology Today. The name of this article is 3 steps to identify what triggers you. The author's name is Nina. Hosefowitz. How close did I get with that?
Oh man.
Oh, you don't have your glasses.
3 steps to what?
3 steps to identify what triggers you.
25.
And once again, I wish you guys had
Nina
Josefowitz.
WITZ.
Yeah. So she's typing this in the chat. Here is the 4 mantras we talked about: identification, education, application, and manifestation. These are the 4 laws pretty much we learned in counseling. They're pretty much self-explanatory. This is the book, It Didn't Start With You, by Mark. I can't pronounce that, but y'all see it. She said it. And then this other book, The Body Keeps Score, by, I know I can't pronounce that.
Bessel Van de, I can't see that. Van de Kolk.
That guy.
Mr. MD.
That guy.
Oh, Bessel.
If y'all get a chance, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Better for the Day. But go back and watch some of these episodes. There's things that we're not really focusing on that are really instrumental into us being better.
Right.
You know, the objective is to be better.
Right.
For you.
Right.
When you get better, things around you get better.
That's true.
All right. So once again, I wish I had a pen. If you don't, whatever. These are the key points to identifying what triggers you. 1, ask yourself what happened to trigger you. Me and my wife talk about this next one a lot. Hit pause and look at the situation. And let's stop right there. I do a lot of
putting out fires.
I'm going to say tests with people to see where they are. And one of the things that I've noticed about people is they never stop to pause.
No, their reaction.
It is important that they rifle off a response as soon as something triggers them. And they don't even realize that this response they get is coming from the unconscious.
It's almost like a defense.
So, like we talked about maybe 2-3 weeks ago. What's up, Petey? The body, the mind will defend itself at all costs.
Right.
Without your consent. I'm being serious. You don't even understand. You've trained your body to be a war machine. You've trained your body to be a machine.
I will say trauma would allow someone to create, would you say, senses of...
Trauma creates defensive mechanisms.
Trauma will create Like, I mean, I will build a wall
Defense.
to protect myself,
Defense.
to not to let that happen again.
And we never go back in there and take the wall down.
No.
We never take the wall down.
Mm-hmm.
And so you go into relationships or whatever have you with this wall that you've done forgot about.
Right.
And like you said a minute ago, a tone, a smell, music, anything familiar or similar to that situation that happened again, that wall's gonna pop right up.
Facial expressions. Yeah. Anything.
Hey, Mr. Lane, this is without your consent.
Right.
Why? Because you've trained your body to do this.
Yeah.
And now you can't even, how can I say this correctly? You'll defend. This is a perfect scenario. You ever been around somebody and you repeat what they say?
As though it was your own story.
You repeat what they say, and they say to you, I ain't say that.
Well, we do that all the time.
It's because your body has defended itself.
It is.
It's not convince you didn't say that.
But sometimes you do say it.
Most times.
Most times. Yeah.
So I bought these glasses that record.
You don't record that.
You don't know that. You hope I'm not recording.
Whatever.
But yeah, I mean, you know, and this goes back to what I was saying with the journaling. You have to journal, and particularly when you get warm.
Yeah.
You know, to kind of figure out what's going on with you. Okay. Hit pause is what we talked about. Hit pause. Here's the unique. There's an article on, Psychology Today called The Power to Pause. I can't remember the author. And what the power to pause does is, say for instance, you get into a situation, all of a sudden you get a little heated.
Mm-hmm.
The subconscious go down to the unconscious and says, hey, what we doing? The unconscious says, we're doing this. The subconscious takes that information, shoots it up to the conscious. And if you stop at that particular moment, you can put something new in your unconscious. We ain't doing that. You got to say that to yourself. I'm not doing that. Yeah, I'm not doing that. Opposed to just firing off. Firing off. I would say 85% of us don't practice pausing.
Yeah.
I got to prove to you I'm right. I'm going to show you I'm right.
I'll be a right fighter.
And in a marriage,
it's so good.
It ends up being two losers.
Literally.
Two losers.
Literally.
All right. I'm going to read. You know, I just read.
Read.
So we're going to start with 1. The first step, remember the article is entitled. Who you point at?
No, you said 1, what happened to get you there? So are we at 2?
I never said 1 was what happened to get you there.
You did. See, there.
That's what you wrote.
That's what you said.
1, what happened to get you there? All right. If she wrote it, then I said it. Okay. Number 1A. Identified when you have been triggered. Okay. When we are triggered, our reaction is so strong and happens so quickly and automatically that we never stop to question the negative path that got us here. Identify when you have been triggered. Okay. They give an example of, and we ain't reading all that. Maybe we have to. It says, I went to meet a client called Ida. She's a young woman in her early 30s, the kind of person with sparkly eyes and a wicked sense of humor. She has a close group of friends and lives with the love of her life, her dog Catch. At times, a friend does something or says something, and she gets triggered. She starts to feel alone, that no one likes her, and that she has no friends. Sometimes she remembers when a friend did something hurtful. When this happens, she gets depressed and then cancels her plans and curls up in bed alone. Even her body feels out of sorts. She can also get really irritated with her friends and send angry texts. For Ida, the first step to stopping this negative pattern is to recognize when she has been triggered. That really didn't tell me nothing.
Oh, I didn't believe.
It says, think back to the last time you were really upset. What were your feelings, your thoughts? How did your body feel? Learn to recognize your pattern. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Pattern behavior. Without journaling, you'll never realize that you're operating in a patterned behavioral culture. And that culture is all, what a VAP, is all yours. That culture doesn't belong to nobody else but you.
Right.
I don't care what you think is happening. This is you against your old self.
Right.
Some of us are so acclimated to who we are, how people say it. You know how I am. No, that's how you choose to be.
Yeah.
You can choose to be different. I'm working. I swear I am. Sometimes I wonder if I'm doing a good job.
You want me to tell you?
Sure.
Doing a good job.
She must be in a good mood today. But when I say I wonder if I'm doing a good job, I never question the path because I'm looking at my notes and I'm seeing the progress.
Right.
A lot of us, once again, don't look at our notes. Okay. Number 2. I guess number 2. It says identify the facts. Once you recognize you've been figured, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what happened to trigger me? That's the key question right there. What happened to me that I allowed that to trigger me?
So what was that again? So what happened?
Identify the facts.
Identify the facts.
What happened to me that I allowed that to happen? What was it about that person? What was it about where I was at? What was it about what was said? What caused that?
I would say that's environmental.
Okay, let's in the words of Pastor Rel Smallwood,
let's unpack that.
Let's unpack that. Okay. At a certain point in our lives, we have to stop associating our behavior with anything besides the fact that it's something we taught ourselves.
Yes. Yeah.
It's something we taught ourselves.
Mm-hmm. That's our defense.
You can't blame nobody else for how you act.
True.
No, I don't care what happens. There's a
She made me do that.
She didn't make you do nothing.
No.
she didn't make you do nothing. You chose to do that.
Yeah.
What's up, Millie? You chose to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But the subconscious, in order for you to rational that behavior,
she made me do that.
It's got to be somebody else's fault.
Mm-hmm.
She made me do that.
Yeah.
No, nobody makes you do nothing.
No.
I don't care how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
You decided to do that.
Yeah.
Now you got to wear it.
Yeah.
You got to wear it. So once again, at some point, you have to become 100% accountable to yourself for how you act. That's hard.
Yeah.
It's so easy to blame other people. It's very, very easy. Once you start being accountable, a lot of the negative behaviors will start to drop off.
That's true.
Because that question will pop up. What happened? Why?
Why am I here?
Anything you do, you should ask that. Why? You made me do it, or look what you made me. That's right, remember?
Mm-hmm.
What? That's not what I wanted. That's my girl Mills right there.
Mm-hmm.
What was it inside of me that caused me to act like that?
Yeah.
Because it wasn't no out. We could talk about the outside, whatever's going on. That you can't stop that from happening.
Right.
You can stop your reaction from happening,
mm-hmm.
but you got to be aware of the action.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And as long as you're looking to blame somebody else, you'll never be aware because it's somebody else's fault.
Yeah.
Like with me, like you said, environmental. Growing up, revenge was it for me. I don't care what it is. I'm gonna get you back. It could be a small thing.
Yeah.
Why? Because that's how I was trained.
Right.
So I got out of that environment.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
The training ain't go away.
No.
It didn't go away, but it was less needed in my mind.
Yeah.
Because the people that I were around, I didn't know them.
No, and it wasn't so survival of the fittest.
I was moving out of. That's another area. We have to understand that we no longer operate in survival mode.
Right.
We're no longer in survival mode. It was necessary at a certain time. For me, it was because of where I grew up at.
Right.
But like we talked about that wall, nobody said to me, "Hey, Al, you can cut that off now."
Right. Well, I think I used to try.
You didn't say it.
No, I never said it.
Hey, you don't need to operate in that now. Because everything inside of me was tuned into that.
Yeah.
So now let me go inside. Like we use in counseling, once again, we use the term minors. Minors. It's important that you go down into your cave or whatever they call it, your mind share, and uncover your hidden treasure. Society has buried your treasure. With what?
Well, society, or did you?
So this is a, let me say this correctly. It could have possibly been done without you knowing. Because let's just be real. At the beginning of you understanding, whoever told you that you had treasure? How much stuff was said to you that was never empowering? Yeah. Don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, do that.
You're always gonna be like
you're gonna be like this, you're gonna be like that. You know what I'm saying? We went to a birthday party last weekend.
Yes.
And so a friend of ours has these affirmations on her refrigerator. Yeah. And we talked about this. And she has a 1-year-old granddaughter.
She's one, yes.
And she says to her granddaughter, she says this every day. And she was at the table, "You are great. You are powerful." And I'm paraphrasing. You are this. These are positive words of affirmation that go down on the inside of you.
But the ironic thing was how
she responded.
She was not verbalizing saying them.
She couldn't.
But she knew how to say yeah.
Yeah. She after every
affirmation,
her grandmother said she made a sound.
Yeah, she said like yeah.
She made a sound.
Acknowledging, yes, I am.
Yeah.
And people would take that as so blasé, but yet how impactful that is, because those words are reverberating inside of her.
It's causing a reaction.
Yes. So when she hears,
she's causing a reaction.
When she hears great, she's gonna say, "I am great."
Absolutely. And now she has something inside of her to combat the other stuff. How many of us has never been told that?
I used to say to the kids, "All right now, be safe, be smart, and always be a lady." That was to Tyler.
You said it to the kids.
I did.
That was what was wrong with that boy.
No, it was nothing wrong with that boy.
Yeah, I see why now.
Don't
be a lady to the kid, to the boy. You heard her, right? She said it to the kids. But know, these are things that need to be drilled into kids when they're young.
Yeah, and infancy,
because they grow up
too late.
I never said it was. But how much stuff does it have to go through to become effective?
Well, I mean, yeah.
You got a lot of stuff that has to be.
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
But if you want to put in the work,
that's the part.
It can be done.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, you don't have to just accept. This is how I am.
Now, I don't knock nobody that ever tells me, "Hey, I'm all right." No, you're not. It's a programmed response.
That is.
How you doing? I'm good. What does that mean?
Yeah. No, but you want to know what is such a reaction statement
It's
that
a programmed response.
yeah, that people really. So when you go, are you really? You kind of like stump them, like,
Stop
wait
right
a
there.
minute.
Are you really? You've then entered. You done penetrated an area that never gets penetrated.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta really think about this.
Mm-hmm. That's what when we go out to eat and how we introduce ourselves to our server. They are so routine. Hi, my name is Takesha. I'll be your server. Can I get your drinks? And we stop
They don't act.
her.
They don't act like that.
No, what I'm
They
saying.
do not act like
No, what I'm saying is they just are going through the formalities. Hi, my name is Takesha. I'm your server. What can I take? They're never giving you eye contact. We stop them.
Mm-hmm.
We ask them their name. We have a conversation with them to let them relax and understand. We're going to accept your service. So in that, engaging a conversation, looking them in their face, having a conversation, it breaks the ice. It allows them to have a conversation with you.
It allows them to be conscious.
Conscious, yes, instead of just going through the motions.
It takes them from the unconscious and the subconscious to consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately they brighten up.
Yeah.
Somebody sees me.
Yeah. I did it to a girl in the grocery store.
You're going left.
I'm going left?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm going to the right.
Okay, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yes, it does, Carmen. Okay, now, Millie, you can tell your story. It's always those three components: the conscious, the subconscious, and the unconscious.
Yeah.
The program pattern behavior comes from the unconscious.
Yeah. What I was going to say is that people, like talking about conscious, people do things exteriorly unbeknownst to everybody, well, maybe to them, that they're hiding or, doing something, and they don't think anybody sees them.
They don't know they're doing it.
I said to a young lady in the grocery store, she had her hair pulled all over her face, and I could barely see her face. And I said to her, she was like, "Hi, how are you? I'm fine." And she just, going through her motions. And I said to her, "Can I say something to you?" And she said, "Yeah." I said, "Why are you hiding?" I said, "I see you. You're beautiful. Pull your hair back. People like to see you." And she looked at me and she was like, "Thank you." I mean, people are they're hurting. They're trying to hide, and they do these things. That's not it.
Well, okay, your mother says, she says, one time someone said to me, "Wiz, what up? How are you doing today?" I said, "Not so good." They never took the time to hear what I said. And they said, "That's good." And they just kept moving on.
Yeah.
It's because they were dealing in the subconscious.
Correct. Yeah. Just going through the motions.
It's not even that. They were looking for the regular response.
Yes.
How you doing? I'm good. So when your mother said, "Not so good," they never heard that.
No. In their head, they heard her say good.
They heard good.
They heard good. Yeah.
So me and Collins was talking today in regards to, we talk about so daggone much.
We do.
Oh, so my job is, I call myself a fireman because all I do all day is put out fires.
Yeah.
All right. I was explaining to her, when you understand how people think, why would you get into a buffoonery conversation with them, knowing that what they're talking to you about may have nothing to do with what you're supposed to be talking about?
Right. They're not hearing you.
They can't.
You're going to have to repeat yourself.
So what does it hurt you to keep repeating yourself? It's very frustrating.
It is. I'm working on it.
You got to understand how they think.
I'm working on it.
You got to repeat yourself a million times.
I don't like it.
And I'm monitoring. I've learned to not let my feelings get in the way because I know how they think.
They're not.
It's autopilot.
I can't stand it.
It's
I get it though. I get it. I'm working on it.
when you understand how this thing works, nobody should get on your nerves for long. I ain't say get on your nerves.
Mm-hmm.
I said for long.
Mm-hmm.
I said for long. Now, when you allow them to stay on your nerves for long, that's a you problem.
It is.
It's not a them problem.
It is.
It's a your problem.
Yeah.
Like, let's just be realistic. Outside of your household, on a normal day, if you don't go to if you work at a regular office where you see the same people every day, that's different. But I work construction, so I'm out in the field. What is the chances of me seeing this guy again?
Oh, I work remote. I don't ever see him.
So I really don't know how you let them piss you off. But just think of
It's the repeated questions.
You gotta not convince it. You gotta train yourself to understand that's never gonna stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until that person decides to do something about it.
Yeah.
It's not gonna stop, cause
Mm-hmm.
how do you change it? You change. The great Oswald. La says, all this can sound like a pass given to others for doing whatever they want because we want to keep giving somebody else responsibility and ownership for our reactions. I was like that and still work on not being that anymore. That's it.
The key.
When you take ownership of your actions,
yes.
How do you do that? You pause.
You pause. Yeah.
Somebody is, you pause.
Yeah.
You pause.
I've written many emails, bust it, and then delete it.
You pause.
Yeah,
you just pause
mm-hmm.
because the like number 2 says, identify the fact. The fact is, your mind is not going to tell you something new to do. It doesn't have anything new in there.
Was that true?
Yeah, it doesn't have anything new in there.
It's like ain't nobody else do this.
Somebody in the bathroom, the door's closed all day. Yeah. Until you start journaling and identifying some things and give yourself some meditation time to concentrate on yourself so that you can actually put some new stuff in, your mind is going to keep telling you the same thing to do because it doesn't know anything new. There's nothing new in there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's the crazy thing. Me and my wife, we trust in Jesus Christ. When you have a relationship with Holy Spirit, new stuff will pop right up in your head. You got to be gully enough to do it. Because some of this stuff is like, get out. What? Do what? I'm not doing that. I'm not. What? Here's something I've learned in my relationship with God. I had to release myself from expected outcomes. I had to stop worrying about how that thing was going to turn out.
Man, yes.
And when I stopped that, it made doing what I was told easier.
Yeah.
Because I don't care how it turns out. Guess what? That's on you.
That's right. That's right.
I did what you told me to do.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, how good we come, divine. What up, Dahu? Yeah, it released me. That is one of our biggest problems. Results.
Yes. And a lot of people operate in being results.
Now let's transfer that to a marriage. We'll do things, right? And when we're not getting the expected reaction, we'll stop doing them.
Yeah.
Guess what? The other person don't even know what you were doing. You never said nothing.
You never said anything.
No. And now you mad and you expect them to know over something you did with the assumption that this was going to happen.
He's going to get it.
And he didn't get it or she didn't get it.
Right.
And now you upset over something that you the only one that know anything about.
Yeah. Right.
Expected results.
Yeah.
you eliminate expectations and raise acceptance. We talk about that in our group chat a lot. Lot can vouch for that. I always say you have to raise your levels of acceptance. Not to accept the fact that that's how that person is, or that's how that person operates, but the fact that I need to be in control of this situation because I see it. I need to be better.
Yeah.
And when I become better, how that person reacts becomes a matter of concern for me, because now I need to help them get better without them knowing I'm doing it. It's simple.
Yeah.
How? You keep answering the question.
Yeah.
As difficult as it might be.
Yeah.
You keep, okay.
I'm working on it.
Okay, so number 2 is identify the facts. Once you recognize you've been triggered, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what happened to trigger me? You want to look at the facts of the situation. This is often hard to do. Why is that hard to do? Because we operate in perception.
Yes.
How we see things. There's nothing wrong with how you see things.
No, because it's how you view things, and nobody can tell you how you view it.
Do you have another viewfinder to see the truth?
You have to be open to be objective to
see the truth.
Right? Yeah, to see the truth.
To see the truth.
Yeah, whether it's favorable or not to you.
So the article says she went back. Let's go back to Ida. If y'all remember, she talked about that in step 1A. Ida was in the therapy session crying. She looked up at me and said, I can't count on my best friend, yada, yada, yada. I asked Ida if anything had happened. Ida was able to identify when she started to feel this way. That is paramount.
And she was able to identify
when she started to feel that way. Not why, but when. Okay, because now when I get to the when, I can get to the why. What happened? Why did I feel that way? What made that person? Okay. Number 3. It says face the situation with compassion. Once you have identified what happened to trigger you, you need to, boy, this is good. You need to take a breath and hit the pause button. Then take a hard look at the situation and find some compassion for yourself. The fact that you're working on you. You're working on you. Give yourself some time to figure out how you want to handle the situation better in the future.
Yeah.
And here's a crazy thing. Although that situation may look like it's the same thing, it's not.
Right.
We say, that's deja vu. Stop it. Ain't no such thing.
You're fooling yourself.
It's similar.
It's similar, but it's
not the same. But your body,
because it felt the same when it was delivered,
it's going to give you a behavior
it's going to
that matches the fact that you think it's the same.
Yeah.
And you won't even know you're doing it.
Yeah.
You will blame everything around you but yourself. Why did you do that? The young man, what up, Rep? The young man who came on the podcast on Sunday literally said he had to say to himself, why do I keep ending up in this dumb stuff?
Yeah, he's like, I gotta stop.
I gotta stop.
Because it was he had triggers. It was like somebody would do something. This is my get
autopilot.
Back. Yeah.
Autopilot.
Yeah.
The average American, the average human is on autopilot.
Yeah.
And don't even know it.
Right.
We put some foundations down there between the ages. I think they said it stops at 15, 16. Like everything's already down there. And now you're working off of these gauges that's deep down in your unconscious. And you have yet to go down there and figure out what it is.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with going to talk to a therapist.
No.
There's absolutely nothing. Shout out to Stephen W. Banks, who's on this post. He wrote a book called Healing the Father Wound. It was supposed to be a 12-week course. We was in there for 2 years. And I mean, it saved all our lives because we was tore up.
Yeah.
The guy that was facilitating, Reverend Charles Ralph, he was the right guy for the job.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Perfect person for the assignment.
He didn't care about our feelings. The most amazing thing that happened, he got healed.
Yeah.
There was a session that he was talking and it overwhelmed him. And all of a sudden we became like counselors. anytime you're in that type of a setting, I don't care who you are, you're gonna get healed.
Yeah.
I tell the staff on Sunday Night Vibes, this thing is about wholeness.
Yeah.
They, no, it ain't. No, it ain't.
No. How that young man, back to that young man on Sunday, how when he spoke, how many people he healed with his story. Not only he healed, but how he was healed in his process.
In his process, right.
You understand? Because how many people have done something wrong to someone and never had an opportunity to make it right, apologize.
To make it right.
And it be genuine.
To make it
You know what I mean? And then have a relationship
with the person.
Right. You
right.
know, how many, I mean, that was wow. Yeah.
The power of love.
Yeah, really. Yeah.
The power of love.
Yeah.
Authentic love can just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Just crazy. So yeah, we just came on briefly to introduce you to triggers. First of all, what a trigger is, and then second of all, identifying your triggers. Yeah. Getting better mentally is not hard. You just got to be willing to do the work.
It's an inside job.
You just got to be willing to take these phones and put them down.
Yeah.
And if you're not putting them down, read something positive.
Yeah.
I mean, I love social media. Don't get it twisted. I do. But I spend a tremendous amount of time reading on stuff some people don't. Like the other day, I looked up, why do they call Great Adventure Six Flags?
Yes, you did.
I just look up stuff like that. Like, why is it called Six Flags?
It's because, yeah.
You know, stuff like that perplex. Like,
yeah.
Why is it called Six Flags?
Well, yeah.
I looked up why they call the James River the James River.
Mm-hmm.
So it's amazing.
What is the saying? Pipe down.
That's a long story. That's a long story. So here is a few things to take with you from this article. If you want to write this down, you can. Number one, recognize when you have been triggered and learn your own pattern. Where's your glasses at, man?
I don't know.
Don't worry about writing it.
Okay, good. Because I
recognize when you have been triggered, learn your own pattern.
Okay.
Number two, take a breath, pause, and ask yourself, what are the facts of the situation?
Mm-hmm.
Kill your perception. Mm-hmm. Sit back for a minute and really, really look at the situation. Mm-hmm. I mean, look at it without opening your mouth.
Yeah.
Without opening your mouth. And be objective about what you're seeing. Mm-hmm. Opposed to letting your insides tell you what you're seeing. Mm-hmm. I'm saying her name wrong, but she says, identify the warning signs.
Yeah.
They're visible.
They are. Yeah.
All right. It says, take a breath, pause, and ask yourself, what are the facts of the situation? Number three, examine what happened with compassion and kindness for yourself. Check if you jump to conclusions. I like that because what I've noticed is we give everybody the benefit of the doubt besides ourselves. We're always being optimistic about everybody else, but we're so pessimistic when it comes to ourselves.
Yeah.
We're very hard on ourselves, and at some point, we need to show the same compassion to ourselves that we show to other people. Mm-hmm. Because we deserve it just like they do.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm working on not needing anybody to tell me anything about anything I do. I don't need you to say I did a good job. Mm. I don't need you to say, man, that was awesome. It's always good to hear, but I don't need it.
Well, you want to know that's a good thing, because if you operate in always needing affirmation from other people, mm-hmm. then you're living off of other people's words opposed to putting those words into yourself.
So let's go back to what we talked about, how we talked about, between the age, I think at 16 years old, there's some concrete foundations that get
correct.
Okay, so I don't know what they do in school now. I just don't know. You know, we praying for these school kids because these people with these guns, it's outrageous. It's just outrageous. So when I was in school, when you got a certain grade, you were giving a certain something on your page. Like let's say second grade, gold star. Okay, so you got an A plus, got a gold star. You got a B, maybe a silver. Okay, so we were trained on what I call the reward program.
Yes, don't want red.
I don't know what that means.
You didn't want a red star.
We were trained on the reward program.
Right.
It was embedded in us that a good deed deserves a reward.
Right, opposed to just doing it because it's the right thing to do.
That's correct.
Right.
And a bad deed, you get punished.
Right.
So we knew the difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
We never went back in there and revamped that.
No.
As we progressed, in our lives. For me, you play sports. You come in first place, you get a trophy. Mm-hmm. Everything had a reward. Mm-hmm. Now we 30 and 40, and we're looking for the same things we got when we were kids, because we never went back in there and revamped it. Mm-hmm. And so now, when we don't get what we think we deserve, we act out.
Like the 5-year-old.
Like the 5-year-old.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's cyclical. It's all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's now that you've heard it here. Mm-hmm. Pay attention to how you act.
Yeah.
Not you per se, but pay attention to how you act.
I got what you're saying.
Keep a little pad and go, wow. Especially when I've heard people get offended when somebody doesn't say thank you when they hold the door open.
Yeah.
They ain't say thank you.
And okay.
Where'd that come from?
Why'd you hold the door?
Where'd it come from?
Right. Well, stuff you dragged from slavery.
That's part of it. But where did it come from?
Yeah, nobody owes you anything.
You know, I've heard people say that's common
courtesy.
Okay.
No.
Like you just said, that stuff was forced on us. We didn't come over here saying that crap.
That's right.
This stuff that was forced on us became our policy, and now we get offended over something we couldn't stand.
Right.
Really? When you do the math, the research on it, and see where that actually came from, you go, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I'm holding the door because it's the right thing to do.
It's just the right thing to do.
If that person doesn't say anything to me, whatever.
It's okay.
Whatever.
Right.
I don't need for nobody to say thank you for me to do a kind act.
Right.
What is that we're talking about? The reward program.
Yeah.
I did something and it should have been a reward.
Yeah.
And now that I didn't get a reward, I ain't never holding the door for nobody.
Yeah.
Who's that gonna?
Who cares?
Who knows that that's the reason you open the door?
Opening the door.
Nobody knows that but you.
Yeah.
And you sitting there. You sitting there like this. Ain't nobody opening the door. It's because somebody, the last time, didn't say thank you. But you never ever will realize that's what you're doing if you don't go back.
Right.
Or have a journal.
Right. Yeah.
You know, half the stuff that we hold people accountable for is something that the slave masters made us do.
Yeah.
And now it's become our manners.
Yeah. That's what I love of what Tyler does with the boys. She don't force them on anybody. She doesn't force them to speak to people because you're taking them out of their own comfort zone. And that stuff was something that was given to us.
It was given to us.
It was given to us.
It was
yeah.
given.
And not to say that they're disrespectful or anything, but adults shouldn't force children on other adults.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no.
When a little kid tells you something, listen.
Yeah, you better.
If they turn into a liar, guess where they learned it from?
You.
They can just pick up lying.
No.
Now, I gotta say something, though. They do learn manipulation at a young age. Now, I did some research on that. This is crazy. I did some research on that. And how they learn this is in the womb. They're listening.
I've always said, when you're pregnant, it's very important that you protect your emotions.
Right.
And your behaviors, what triggers you. My father used to tell me to not be mean, and don't people tell me not to look at certain people because you mark your baby.
I don't know
about that. But your words, your actions, what you hold in, has a big effect on that infant in vitro. Yes.
I mean, we got a grandson. If that little boy ain't Tyler times 10, and then I don't know how he acts like me. I don't know where that came from.
DNA.
It's in his blood.
It's DNA.
I sit back and watch him and go, well, where did he? Because he's not around me that much.
Right.
And I go, where did he pick that up from? It's amazing. It's amazing. So yeah. Be careful. No, not be careful. Just pay attention to when your kids say something to you or when they don't want to be around nobody.
Right.
I don't know how we got there, but we're there. We're there. Let's run through this article right fast. We got time. We're going to take this to 9:30. It's 9 steps for managing your emotional triggers.
9?
All right. 5 steps.
Okay.
I can't see.
Okay.
Getting tired. All right. This is good. A person cannot change their feelings until they recognize them.
Right.
An emotional trigger occurs when a person reacts as though they aren't getting or will not get one of their needs met. The reward program. The best thing to do when an emotion is triggered is to identify it quickly and then choose what to say or do next. It says one of the many wonders of your brain is how masterfully it rationalizes your behavior. It is taught to defend itself at all costs. We're going to run through these right fast. The first step to managing your emotional triggers is to accept responsibility for your reactions. Accept yourself as powerful instead of as victim to remove the veil of self-deception. Number 2 is to recognize that you are having an emotional reaction as soon as it begins to appear in your body. That's good. A lot of our reactions are emotional.
Yeah.
We talked about that today. I don't know. We talked about so much. We talked about this. This is the most emotional culture I've ever seen in my life. We are making permanent decisions of temporary situations based off how we feel at that moment.
Yeah.
And now, when we see that it doesn't have a good lasting effect, I'm sorry. You're not sorry.
No.
Just mad it ain't work. Anyway. 3, if the emotion is related to fear, anger, or sadness, the third step is determine what triggered the emotion. We talked about that a minute ago. 4, where are you? Is to choose what you want to feel and what you want to do. That is good. So let's just say you and I get into a conversation. And immediately, based off what has happened in the past, I'm angry. Nah, you can sit there and go, I don't want to be angry. You're sleepy, ain't you?
I've been sleeping. Been up since 3 o'clock this morning.
Moving right, you have. And the 5th step is to actively shift your emotional state. You can practice this at any time, even when you first notice a reaction, to help you think through your triggers. When you determine what you want to do next, shift into the emotion that will help you get the best results. Determine what you want to do. Stop working off autopilot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just say that. I ain't doing that this time.
Right.
But you got to recognize you're doing it.
You do.
All right, peoples. That's all we had. It's going to be better next week. I'm going to be down here at 7:30. I'm not going to come down here at no 5 minutes to 8 talking about I'm ready. But it wasn't bad. You know what I'm saying? It's triggers. It's identifying your triggers.
Yeah.
And now that you identify it, what you going to do about it?
Literally.
What you gonna do about
Yeah,
it?
what you gonna do?
The number one thing, if you didn't get nothing from this, is stop blaming other people.
Yeah.
Nobody makes you do anything.
No. You need to control yourself.
Nope.
Control your atmosphere. Control your reactions. Yesterday I was mad. I was hot.
You was mad at what? Oh.
But then I calmed myself down. It took a minute, but I calmed myself down.
Guess what if you don't?
I'll be the loser of it.
That's the real of it.
Yeah.
What you do.
And I even emailed him and let him know, as I pondered over the situation, I see where I saw it wrong.
Right.
Yeah. And I took accountability for it.
Rel said Carmen doesn't get mad.
No, I get mad.
That's because y'all see the outside Carmen.
No, I'm me.
How you doing? Yes, it's all truth and facts. Who's Nella Neal? Who is that?
I don't know.
So we're gonna put your comment up here, and I'm gonna tell Rel and La and Millie Jasmovic. TRUTURTH. That is not truth, Neely. I had to do it. I'm getting tired. You triggered me.
Oh, you are funny. Rel is laughing.
She triggered me. Okay. I gotta post this. They straightened it out. They straightened it out. Rel said it's past 9. You got that right. We're supposed to be off at 9, Rel. You're not at 9.
Man.
But the name of this broadcast is Better for Today.
Yeah.
And the objective is to get better for today. Nobody has to know what you're working on.
Right. And it's each day, daily. Make a little improvement daily.
Every day.
Yeah.
Every day. One day at a time, one person at a time. Yeah. And this place can change.
Yeah.
It can change. All right, peoples, man. We'll see y'all next week. We'll still be on triggers. This whole broadcast for the last month is about the mind, about really understanding how you operate. And a lot of us don't understand that. We stay straight on autopilot because we're allowing our unconscious to rule us.
And if we really take time to ponder on our day-to-day, how we operate, I mean, we can see how we can improve ourselves.
But you got to write it down. Don't fool yourself into thinking you're going to remember it.
Yeah, because
stop thinking, I'm going to remember that.
No, you don't.
No, you're not. It's just too much going on in your day.
Mm-hmm.
And you're on your phone anyway, so if you can't write, if you can't, get a pad and a piece of paper,
right?
Voice record.
Yeah, because I'm not a big writer.
But you need a record about yourself.
Yeah.
And who better to write it but you?
Right.
All right, peoples. Good night, man. We'll see y'all next week. If you're not doing anything Sundays at 8:00, come on Facebook. There's a fantastic show on called Sunday Night Vibes. Last week we spoke to the men who these guys had did so much time, but they are really doing well in society. This week we're talking to women.
Actually, how they have overcome.
A lot of them were wrongfully convicted.
Yeah, and they've overcome that situation.
They've really overcome.
Didn't allow it to stagnate.
Magnificent show.
Yeah.
I would advise you, if you're not doing anything this Sunday, to chime in. Sunday at 8 p.m. It's called Sunday Night Vibes. WVBEZ. Look us up. All right. We out. Peace. V. Oops. Hold on. I just did Jasmovic. I said WV. VYBEZ. You ain't catch that, bro. You slipping.
He's spelling in Spanish.
You slipping, bro.